Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is AhTravesty playing some Neverwinter Nights using the Subtlety of Thay mod. Still here in the Symbols Palace. We just got done dealing with all the elementals over here. Got the Tempest elemental created. Can't do anything with it. And we still need to close out the quest with Simone back here, so let's go talk to her. Let her know that we got this handled.
Hi there.
You summoned the Tempest! Amazing! My instructors will surely be impressed with my resourcefulness, and may be granted a full apprenticeship. In any case, this is excellent news, Paldor. Now at least I won't be mauled by elementals while I attempt to clean this mess up before the instructors notice. Now, I suppose you would like some kind of reward, no? Well, I have a few summoning stones here. Don't think I'll have much use for them, and it's probably better that I don't possess them if anyone finds out about this. Here, take them. Now, if I replace the lost tomes with blank ones, they may not notice for quite a while. Oh, we're done here. Damn, man, she's shady as hell. Alright, so it looks like she just gave us a bunch of summoning stones. Yeah, a bunch of elemental gems. They should come in handy. Alright, we still need to figure out how to get to this fire method. I wonder if I shouldn't head back up and rest up and get a Dispel magic spell memorized. We currently can't rest here, so... But we'll come back to that later, I think. There's still some more of this area we need to check out over here. Alright, anybody over here? More nobles. Oh, look at that. That looks cool, man. There's a bunch of people back here. Narrow Hamistil. Oh, that's one of the leaders. Cornwall Danworth, Silas Skippy, Feldara. Let's see if these guys say anything. And Feldara. To the contrary, I believe there is a fair representation amongst the palace of the people. And it's Neril. That's correct, Lord Silas. The symbol herself is human, as are all of her apprentices. Though I am steward, and as such many decisions come directly to me in her absence. Her apprentices serve as advisors in all matters. And it's Silas. Of course, I did not mean to imply that the symbol's apprentices are not representing our positions, but the adequacy of said representation is up for debate. There's Feldara again. We are charged with representing the will of the symbol, not your needs, Cornwall. Perhaps that's the problem. No one is questioning our abilities to oversee the affairs of the symbol, Lady Feldara. Quite the opposite, in fact. I only speak for the people, and as the capacity of a member of the council. But surely you must realize that by a wide margin, the majority of those people are of pure human descent. With the ever-increasing frequency of the symbol absences from the throne, and a half-elf as steward, it gives the appearance that the humans, who I again remind you are the majority, are not being given their fair dues. Silas, is there some complaint you have against my leadership you have left unvoiced? If so, speak it now and plainly. Of course not, Lord. In fact, there are many who are quite pleased with the way Aglaron has been, until recently, when this ugly war reared its head. And we both know that you, personally, cannot be held accountable for the actions of Thay. However, the people need someone to point a finger at, a face responsible for the lives of the lost loved ones. And the people I represent think that a human on the throne full-time, and not just when the symbol decides to grace her nation with her brief presence, would solve many of those problems. And tell me, Silas, do you agree with those you represent? Lady Feldara, you know as well as I that my personal opinion on any topic is irrelevant. It is our duty to represent the people as members of the council, regardless of our personal feelings on the topic. Too true, Lord Silas. I wish some among us would remember that when considering our options. What say you, Lord Neril? You are both correct, of course. However, my duty is to Aglaron as a whole, and Aglaron alone. I do not have to represent fringe opinions. With all due respect, Lord, not fringe, but majority. So say you, Silas. What is good for Aglarond is good for all of its citizens. Perhaps we need another perspective on the matter. Let us ask Peldor of Ulm. Surely he represents a portion of the citizens of Aglarond, being that he is not of the blood of any noble house. If you wish it. However, my only reserve is that he does not represent the views of the humans, which again, I remind, are the majority. Very well. For the sake of the debate, I shall entertain this. Proceed, Peldor of Ulm. Do you think Aglarond would be better served by a representative government, or is imperial rule a better choice? The symbol has protected Aglarond far longer than many can remember. Why question her authority when war is upon you? At what time would questioning government be more important? Lives are at stake. The lives of those we represent. Indeed, a peaceful resolution would indeed be more profitable both in lives saved and potential coin. But we all know how the symbol feels about Thay, even though it appears that they have turned a new leaf, so to speak. War with Thay would be to question the will of Mistra, so say the priests. As her chosen, the symbol must heed her will. Indeed, as it stands, those pushing for war are eager nobles of the south, seeking the land of the Wizard's Reach, which once belonged to Aglarond. So it seems that our goals are not that much different. Additionally, we received word from a reliable source that Mervol, the Red Wizard who staged the attack on Glarondar, was doing so without the approval of Thay itself. Indeed? Perhaps we all need to speak with this source of yours. After all, we all have a stake in... Lord Silas, this source is a matter for Aglarond. We will keep you informed of any new developments, but speaking directly to our source is out of the question. If that is your will, Lord, it seems I have no choice but to obey. Let us continue this discussion at another time. I will set a time for the next council meeting to discuss this further with the entire council present, if it pleases you, Lord Silas, Lord Cornwall. Of course, Lord Neril. Just like true politicians never can agree on anything. Alright, does Neril say anything else? Peldor, we have not had the pleasure of being formally introduced. Please forgive me. My name is Lord Neril Hamistil. I am the steward of Aglarond, ruler in the symbol's absence. Allow me a moment to express my sincere gratitude for your actions on behalf of Aglarond. Stopping Mervol's attack against Glarondar was pivotal in keeping the land surrounding Glarondar and saving the lives of many innocents. Thank you, for without your help I fear the worst. However, your actions have placed you in severe personal danger, and let me assure you that in resolving that matter, you have Aglarond's full support. Please enjoy yourself at the banquet, and until it begins. All who are here today honor you, Peldor. Aleandra of the House Locke is here. I wish for her to have a seat at the banquet this evening as my guest. Seats at the banquet are reserved for members of the council only. I can understand if you are angry, Peldor. She is a friend of yours? No matter. With the dissolution of her house, she is no longer a member of the council. These types of banquets are steeped deep in tradition and ceremony, Peldor, and I think Aleandra would understand that better than anyone. I understand, Lord Neril. It's unfortunate what has happened to her house, and thought perhaps this would alleviate some of her suffering. Of course. However, I have come to know Aleandra well over the years. I remember her father, Lord Locke, would bring her to council meetings from time to time. She was born and raised a noble. There is little you can do to change her mind on how a noble should behave. I think that ultimately she expects not to attend anything having to do with the council until her house is brought back to its former glory. Anything less she'd view as an act of pity. And a noble is unworthy of pity. Who are these people you're speaking with? It's good that you wish to learn more about those who will be participating in the banquet. You will see many subtle nuances throughout, and choosing a side will become necessary, I fear. For they each have their own goals, and will be seeking to use you to further them, unwitting or willing. Lady Feldara, the woman, is one of the symbol's apprentices. She serves her and her alone, whether those goals help or hurt the nation of Aglarond. Do not judge her for that, Peldor, for it is her duty as advisor to the throne when the symbol is gone. The man in blue is Lord Silas Skippy, lord of one of the most important houses in Elprintalar. The other is Lord Cornwall Danworth, lord of what is often considered the most powerful house in Aglarond. There is no reason you cannot question them. They are more for us than for you. Thank you for your honors, Lord Hamistill. Of course, Peldor. Before you go, there is a person of interest in the dungeons you may wish to see personally. I'll arrange for a way to be clear if you wish to visit them. Alright, somebody in the dungeon, huh? Cornwall Danworth, let's talk to him. Greetings, Peldor. My name is Lord Cornwall Danworth, Lord of House Danworth, and first seat on the council. As is Lord Skippy, I too am committed to seeing Aglarond with representation of the people. But I did not want to discuss that here, but I got sucked into a spirited debate. I look more forward to hearing the stories your journey has brought you. But in due time, farewell until the banquet. Okay, let's talk to Silas next. So, you're the one we've been invited here to honor. Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Lord Silas Skippy, Lord of House Skippy, and third seat on the council. You've heard my policies. I am interested in turning Aglarond into a republic, one step at a time. I'm sure we'll hear more of your personal views when the banquet convenes. Until then, farewell. Alright, and Feldara. Peldor, I was just beginning to wonder when you would come to speak with me, and here you are. I'm sure you have a few questions to ask. Please allow me to indulge you. So you're the apprentice of the symbol? Yes, myself and 3 others. I am the eldest member in length of time of service to her, and specialize in divinations and day-to-day affairs. Thornera Thalence is our specialist in illusions. As you'll see when you meet her by her unusual appearance, everything is a test with her, but if she likes you, she can be quite forward. The Masked One, as she is known to all but those among our ranks, is our spy master and artificer. She may seem unfriendly at first, and that's because she generally is. However, her craft in both creation and stealth are unmatched. She is also quite the evoker. Finally, the youngest among us, but do not mistake that for inexperience, is Evanil. She specializes in golem craft, among other studies. As a matter of fact, I seem to recall her having difficulties with some Imiskari golems we recovered recently. If you know anything of golems, she may wish to speak with you. Tell me of the symbol. The symbol is like a power a mortal has a difficult time comprehending. She is one of the most gifted and powerful masters of the art in all of Faerun. Her powers come from within, similar to your companion Lo. All of us apprentices share that gift. However, she, like us all, has also mastered much magic, from reading wizardry tomes. She has a command over magic like none you have ever seen, Peldor, and likely never will. In recognition of that, she is one of the chosen of Mystra, the goddess of magic. I had heard of those chosen before. Isn't it true that any god or goddess can proclaim a mortal their chosen to serve their will on Faerun? That's correct, Peldor. Allow me to explain. The chosen of Mystra is a vessel for the goddess to spread her will throughout Faerun. Mystra has 7, and most of them are prominent figures in the modern history of Faerun. Elminster, whom the symbol is close with, is one. Kelvin Blackstaff was another. These are the people, through their magical might and blessings of the goddess, shape history for good or ill, depending on the goddess's will. What do you mean, for good or ill? Elminster is known for his good deeds throughout the world. Of course, many are. The Chosen are dedicated to battling imbalances in the Weave, and to combat the Shadow Weave. Samister is a tragic case, though. That shows that even the Chosen are prone to evils. The power granted from Mystra to him ultimately cost him his sanity and his life. And it is now Mystra's will that Thay be allowed to operate peacefully. The trade in magic items of great power, furthering the power of the Weave, and the worship of Mystra. I've heard enough. Where do I sign up? You would have to speak with the symbol on that, Peldor. But a man being an apprentice of the symbol would be unprecedented. I wish you luck if that is your goal. Goodbye. Indeed. We will speak again soon, Peldor. Alright, moving on. Okay, here's Evanol. She's one of the apprentices, apparently. And Metella. Let's see if Evanol says anything. And it's Metella. Look how he stands among them, as if they would even consider for a moment his words. And it's Evanol. Feldara is there as well, Metella. She will ensure fairness and neutrality in the conversation. Will she? Tell me, does her disposition favor Nerl or the symbol? You know the answer as well as I, Evanol. She favors Aglarond as strongly as any of us. Of course, Evanol. I would much prefer you were there instead, however. Do you? My words would be similar, and Feldara will handle the formalities to their satisfaction. But you would favor what is true over what will not upset a council member. I fear any of the advisors could not afford that luxury, Evanol, for we do not hold seats on the council. We do not want that appearance of favoritism to any single house, regardless of the truth. My disagreements with their views would only put forth that appearance, and with a war on the horizon, unity is more important. Or so says Lord Nerl, and I must defer to his wisdom on that matter. Agreed. He walks a dangerous line, collaborating with those that would see him dethroned. I hope his wisdom is sharper than steel. In that, Lady Metella, you will not be disappointed. Yeah, let's see, does she say anything else? Good day, Peldor. Is there some way I can assist you? I hear you are having difficulties with a golem, and would like a second pair of eyes on the problem. I have never been ashamed to defer to those who are more knowledgeable than I am in the past, so I see no reason to start now. Very well. If Feldara trusts you enough to allow you an opportunity to show your worth to the apprentices, then I shall as well. You will find my room further down the hallway. The golem is in the middle circle, and the spells meant to animate it are on the lectern. Perhaps you can find the missing key that I have missed. Now, if there is further questions, please ask. Maybe you could fill me in on what you have for the golem construction. I should tell you, we are sorcerers, first and foremost. Golem craft, undead construction, magical item creation, these are all matters best left to wizards. For it is wizards who will read and pore over tomes to gain magical knowledge, and defining things in writing and with magical patterns comes naturally to them. But sorcerers, we shape the weave with our wills alone. It is an internal struggle to master ourselves, and not the knowledge we hold within ourselves. But that is not to say a sorcerer cannot do these things. It is just more difficult. For that reason, each of the apprentices, except for the masked one, study arcane lore as well as mastering our sorcerer's power. We are trying to achieve perfect mastery of the weave through all aspects. However, ancient golem craft is a skill that still eludes me. In any case, the golems I have been working with are of ancient Imiskari. We recovered many parts of inert golems from some ruins not long ago. However, the instructions for animating the golems were nowhere to be found, so we have been piecing them together one at a time. The notes on what I have found are in my room. Feel free to browse them over if you must. But be careful. The powers that animated them are very old and unstable, so avoid slinging around unnecessary magic if you can. You are one of the Symbol's apprentices? I am, that's correct. Fildara can tell you more about the apprentices. As the youngest, I don't feel it is my place. Forgive me. I must be going. Farewell, Paldor. Alright, so we need to be dealing with some golems, huh? My precious. One of the Symbol's apprentices, Evelyn, is having difficulty animating a golem. She said that if I can manage to succeed where she has failed, it would impress the other apprentices, which may earn me a favor at the banquet, or even a possible reward. Her room is down the hall. It won't hurt to take a look if I can manage it. Alright. And Metella, she say anything? Paldor, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. My name is Lady Metella Halverson, of House Halverson, the second seat of the council. Our house is the only half-elven house in Velprintalar, and its influence spreads further beyond these city walls than you would think. I have relatives in both Glarandar and some of the elven settlements along the Yearwood and the northern coast. For saving those in Glarandar, I thank you. Tell me, Paldor, have you ever thought of perhaps joining a noble house? Someone as accomplished as you could have a tremendous political presence. Is that an offer to join House Halverson, lady? Perhaps, perhaps not. It was a general question, but your tone belies your interest. No doubt by the end of today, you will be swarming with offers from various houses. They will all want you for their own purposes. Will that include Halverson? No need to make any decisions today, in any case. Enjoy the festivities, for they are held in your honor. Tell me of the only half-elven noble house in Velprintalar. Of course, nothing pleases me more than to speak of the accomplishments of the half-elven community, for it was once shunned and considered second class to the humans who now dominate the Aglarondan Peninsula. However, that was not always the case. Long ago, the ancient Star Elves, possibly our great descendants, settled this area and created one of the biggest and strongest of the old elven empires. But, like all of the old elven empires, it collapsed from centuries of human encroachment on its land, violent and otherwise. Like the elves of Evermeet, they too retreated, though it is not widely known where. And with the old elven influence gone, the humans were free to dominate most of Farron, and here was no exception. Thus, to make up for years of perceived dominance over them, the humans responded in kind. But recently, in relative terms, the work of House Halverson has alleviated the discrimination faced each day by the citizens of elven lineage. And that is House Halverson's ultimate goal, Paldor. To create a land where we may live free from human discrimination in any form. There's some type of discord between you and the human houses? Of course. The other houses are diametrically opposed to what I'm trying to achieve. They want human rule for Aglarond, complete with no representation for half-elves in anything more than appearance. House Halverson just wants some equality. I have no questions. I'm just meeting with the other guests. Very well. I will see you at the banquet. Alright. Yeah. Politicians like crazy here. Shang Lin. Let's talk to him next. The finest magical facilities in Aglarond. And I was born a male. My name is Lord Shang Lin, Paldor. Tell me, do you care for the art? Of course, I seek mastery of the weave as would any mage. That is what I expected. Consider this. You and I stand in the halls of the Symbol's palace. Behind me is the laboratory, filled with tomes of centuries of magical knowledge. To my left, the rooms of the apprentices, no doubt also filled with such tomes of knowledge. But as a man, I will never see the interiors of either of those rooms, and will never have more than a glimpse at the contents within. We are preparing for war with an enemy that has, perhaps, the most powerful conglomerate of mages since the fallen human empires of old. And they sit and bicker over what race the steward is. It is preposterous. Aglaron loses much by restricting access to his knowledge. Of course, I am glad we see eye to eye on this issue, Peldor. Remember those words when it comes time for the banquet. If the opportunity to speak out arises, you must take it. It may work out to both our advantages. Your house, the House of Mages, is that correct? House Lin, that is correct. My house was formed not long after the Symbol began to take apprentices, and none of them were male, and knew little of wizardry. Mistra, bless her name, she has a clear bias against men for reasons unknown to me. I believe it is her Huthran background. The witches of Rashiman, the Huthran, are all women as well. In any case, I was but a humble royal wizard when she came to rule Aglaron. I left service to the country to start my own house, for the men interested in the weave need a place to learn as well. I take women too. I take anyone that wants to learn and has the ability. It wasn't long before my house was among the strongest in Aglaron, and it stayed that way since. Magic has a real propensity for gathering the powerful. If you'll excuse me? Of course, by your leave. Alright. Alright, here's another door here. Let's see what's going on here. Damn, this is a big room. What the hell's that? Some blood? There's a big open room here. There's somebody back there. Oh, what the hell? There's something wrong here. There's a blood trail leading back to that room. It looks as if a body was dragged in that direction. What the hell? Alright, I don't see anything else in here. Lance and Nancy. What the hell's going on here? Some kind of storage room over there. Let's see what's going on here. By the god, Lance! What have you done? I told you! Only in the docks district! But a noble! Hours before the banquet! Lance growls, clearly upset about something. Whether it was that his meal was interrupted, or being berated is unclear. What? Shh! My dear son! Do not be upset. It's not your fault. It is what you are. It is your nature. There. Shh. Lance is pacified, and a streak of worry covers his face, as if he just realized what he has done. Well, it looks like you two have quite a problem on your hands. Allow me to explain this scene. Go ahead. My name is Nancy, and I'm one of the head maids here in the palace. This is my son, Lance. He's a bit dim, if you understand what I mean. Sometimes that gullibility can get you into trouble. He met a woman not long ago, bless his soul. And after that he began rapidly deteriorating into what you see before you. We can't afford a healer or even take a look at him. He began eating. Well, you see before you. I have no idea why, but I've been sending him to the docks to feed. Rats, dogs, cats, maybe people no one will miss. He can't help it. Whatever is afflicting him, he can't resist it. What is he supposed to do? Just die of hunger? Yeah, it sounds like he's a vampire. It sounds like he contracted vampirism from the woman he met. What? A vampire? How? Why? Gods, why him? He would never harm anyone. Well, what do we do now? We need to get him to the temple soon. But first, we need to ensure his escape. And how do we do that? If someone finds this body, we can clean up the blood and hide the body among the laundry. It won't be found for a while, and maybe you can get rid of it later. Come, Lance. We need to hide this body. That should do it. I'll take care of it later. I suppose that we'll be seeing each other again then. Huh. Damn. Okay, we gotta figure out how to deal with that. Nancy, let's see, does she say anything else? Thank you for what you've done. You don't know what it means to me. Don't worry, we'll find a cure for your son. Okay. Alright, doesn't appear there's anything else in here. And looks like a room that used to be a barracks and they moved all the furniture over there. Not much here. Alright, let's take a look at a map. Yeah, there's a lot of other places over here yet. You know what I think I'm going to do while we're over here yet near our bedroom? I'm going to go up there, rest up, get a Dispel magic spell memorized. And then we're going to come back down here and see if I can't get that fire method out of that thing real quick. Alright, I'll do that all off camera. I'll be back.